All right, so on this one, we're going to be talking about key characteristics of quadratic functions, identifying the vertex, intercepts, zeros, minimum and maximum point, minimum maximum value, and axis of symmetry. So again, we already have our answer for us. Again, I'm going to go ahead and work through how it got those answers. So I'm going to identify my vertex. My vertex is the turning point on the quadratic of the U-shaped figure. I know that when I have a happy parabola where I'm opening up, so if I'm opening up, that means I'm going to have a minimum value. So this is a minimum value. That means it's the lowest value. And I'm going to identify my vertex. So my vertex here is the point -1, -4. Remember, you always want to walk first, and then we can go down to the elevator to get to the floor -4. Okay, so our coordinate point x comes first, and then the y value. So we know that our y, when we're looking at that minimum value y, that minimum value is our y value. So in the case of this parabola, it is -4. Now I'm also going to talk about a couple of the other concepts that are involved with it, and that is the axis of symmetry. So the axis of symmetry goes through the vertex, and it is the axis of symmetry, think axis, that is the x value in our axis of symmetry. So that equation of that vertical line is x equals -1. That does not have to do with our minimum or maximum value in the parabola. That is just the vertical line that splits our parabola in half. I'm also going to talk about the y-intercept that crosses the y-axis, and our x-intercepts, or what we like to call them, they're the zeros of the graph. We also call them the roots. So the x-intercepts on this graph are x is equal to -3 and x is equal to 1. Do not confuse that with your axis of symmetry equation. Even though they say x equals, the axis of symmetry is an equation, while these x equals -3 and x equals 1, those are specific values in a coordinate point, such as -3, 0 or 1, 0. I say that because one of the questions on here is asking for the zeros, not related to the axis of symmetry, and I didn't want you to get confused on that.